Hey, hello, everybody. Thanks for being here. We have about 25 people in this space, if not more, and then we have an audience on Zoom. So I'm talking to both, and Neva and her daughter and granddaughter will be dancing, bringing all of you into this wonderful performance online and here. So I'm Jackie Fernandez-Hamburg, the curator of the Sheldon Jackson Museum. And I just want to say thank you to the Friends of Sheldon Jackson Museum who make this program, the Alaska Native Artist Residency program that brought Neva Mathias here possible. And thank you to the private donors, the National Endowment for the Arts and the Hanrahan Foundation and other funders for supporting this wonderful program. We start off with a land acknowledgement, but I want to make some general acknowledgements before we get started. And before Neva begins her performance with her daughter and granddaughter, the Friends of Sheldon Jackson Museum would like to acknowledge and express our appreciation to the Indigenous people of Tlingit who have occupied this land for longer than any of us can imagine. And after 250 years of colonization in Alaska, are graciously allowing us to share this amazing land with them. Thank you. Our next artist in residence will be Jim Gooch Hart. He is a Tlingit formline artist, carver, and painter. He works in a variety of mediums. He starts on August 20th. So please come and meet him, see what he's working on. He will be teaching a formline drawing class, and we still have some spaces left for that. So sign up if you're able to and interested. And just to tell you a little bit about Neva, she's been here a few times before. It's wonderful to have her back. She just finished teaching a wonderful brass dance band making class. She first began making baskets in 1979, and by 1985 was practicing her art form as an expert. She learned to make baskets and dolls and how to prepare the raw materials from her mother. Her dolls, which she makes during the winter months, are made using seal and rabbit fur seal skin and cuspuk materials. Her grasses for basketry made during the summer while she's at fish camp, she collects from the beaches of Hooper Bay. She's employed as a teacher in the Chevak middle and high schools. And when she's not teaching at school, she's teaching doll making workshops and focusing on her art form and spending time with her wonderful family. So thank you for being here, Neva.
Thank you, Jeff.
Begin.
Hello, everyone. My name is Neva Mathias. My Chupik name is Manga. Manga. That's my Chupik name after my fraternal grandma, Alaska Native Chupik of the Haudenosaunee tribe. That's our tribe, Haudenosaunee tribe at Chevak Native Village. My late parents were James and Teresa Mathias, and their Chupik names were Chima and Nauiwa. This is my daughter.
Neva Mathias. My Chupik name is Baranof Mathias.
Good. Her name is Teresa Mathias, named after my mother, and her Chupik name, she said, Nasakayo. And this is Ali Knight. The Chupik name is Tachunga. And she said she is Ali Knight, and her Chupik name is Tachungu. She's a daughter of my oldest son. This Eskimo dance performance will be called Cakimnaraiya, which would mean someone out there. It's referring to the people of our ancestors, probably in the late 50s, 60s, 1950s and 60s. The way they used to live before the arrival of the Western culture to our village. It's a story of a family unit of four. A man hunting bearded seal. Next, it'll be a woman cutting up the seal, the woman or the girls cutting up the seal. And then the young girl with a story knife, and a young boy hunting with bow and arrow. And then I would want to, where the dance came from was from a person by the name of John Pingayak, he was a cultural heritage coordinator at our first school in Chevak. And this is what he said. John Pingayak, he's one of the elders in Chevak, and he was a teacher for a long, long time, but he and his wife has retired and now live in Chevak. And he said, I composed the song as York dance during traditional jump rope song from our ancestral song. He originated the movements, making lyrics as dance choreography to lyrics of the song. So this is the song called Cakimnaraiya.
Ayarluni ma saksule, ayarluni ma saksule, dosido, aibani, baluski, angusuvilu sarat makut, maksaksoyulre, nakaya, Chakimnaraiya, ayarluni ma saksule, ayarluni ma saksule, dosido, aibani, baluski, arnavilu saat makut, kapayulre, nakaya, ayarluni ma saksule, ayarluni ma saksule, dosido, aibani, baluski, Kukchuvilu saat makut, puchudakayulri, nakaya, ayarluni ma saksule, ayarluni ma saksule, dosido, aibani, baluski, tanruhavilu saat makut, nerayulri, nakaya, ayarluni ma saksule, ayarluni ma saksule, ayarluni ma saksule. Ayarluni ma saksule, ayarluni ma saksule, dosido, aibani, baluski, angusuvilu saat makut, maksaksoyulri, nakaya, ayarluni ma saksule, ayarluni ma saksule, dosido, aibani, baluski, arnavilu saat makut, kapayulri, nakaya, Chakimnaraiya, ayarluni ma saksule, ayarluni ma saksule, dosido, aibani, baluski, Kukchuvilu saat makut, puchudakayulri, Nahaya Ekeni Chakimnaraiya Taklu Chakimnaraiya Ayaluni Mathias Ayaluni Mathias Bye. Baluski. Tanuha vilusat magud. Bitik neriyulgi. Nahaya eheni yulgi. Tatakun. Takun. Ayaluni Mathias Ayaluni Mathias
I was wondering if you might take some questions from the audience, if people would like to ask anything
Yeah.
about what you're wearing or about the song
Okay.
or about how you learned to dance.
Okay. The story behind it is a family of original family of four. The first one was Sarah Margaret represents men and women that go seal hunting, like this. And then the next one is the Hanabilu Sarah Margaret is the people out there, the women and the young girls cutting up the seal. And then and the girls, we call them Gvaktuvilu Sarat Mahut in the song. It represents the young girls that do story night outside Andaman. We do a lot of we used to do a lot of story night stories Andaman anywhere in Chile. And then the fourth one is Tanho Havilu Sarat Mahut is for the young boys that go bow and arrow hunting. Story behind that school dancer, and it represents the family unit way before the Western culture arrived to our village. These were made by the Chevak Cultural Heritage Program, and these are made from the regular basketry, the type of grass that is used for basketry, making baskets. And this grass is usually picked from the beaches, sandy dunes on the beaches of Hooper Bay along the coast. So that's what the grass came from. And the fur right here, these are the usual fur that our region likes to use, because they're so flowy like this, and they're so nice, can be used for fans in between dancing, and they're really good. So, and these white ones are from a reindeer bear. From what I understand, I don't know quite much about making these, but I'm learning to, but I kind of know what they mean, and they use different kind of decorations like little furs or beads or something like that to make them look really prettier. So, different colors too. Yeah. And these are the ones that I use to make a simpler form of dance fans by using the same kind of grass, but braided. I developed my own style to teach learners to do this by using braiding the grass and making it shape it into a circle like this, and with the handles, very similar with the original ones like that. So, and the fur that I use is from a coyote, and the coyote fur I bought from Alaska Furrier in Anchorage called Alaska Fur Exchange. And these ones, I think they come from St. Lawrence Island, and they have domesticated reindeer. There's not in Chevak area. We don't get those, so we have to order them. They have to order them to eat these, and then there's different artists like basket weavers and dance fan makers, and our Eskimo dance bands and dancers and organizations. They can buy them from other people that make them. And it's pretty popular in our area.
And then your headdress?
And the headdress are they're usually from a wolf fur, wolverine. I think it's part of wolf. This is like fabric material, buttons, and they can even use beads, and there's different designs that dressmakers use. So I haven't made one yet, but I got these from a Chevak Cultural Heritage Program at our school. So I borrowed these, the headdresses, beautiful headdresses that the students use for their Eskimo dance ceremonies during the school year, in Christmas time, holidays, other holidays, other gatherings. And these are the custom styles she had. Typically, you pick style. Sometimes they don't have a graphic style. It's simple or fancy. These are used for Eskimo dancing. They like to use them like this, and a lot of times it's over a fur carpentry. Yeah, how long has you been dancing? To tell you the truth, the only time that I really Eskimo danced when I was small, maybe like 7 or 8 years old. And ever since then, I hardly ever danced Eskimo dance, but I've seen my children grow up Eskimo dancing, so I watched them. But I actually somehow never Eskimo danced until recently, maybe few times during these past few years, because when I was growing up, my mother and my father didn't Eskimo dance for some reason. I never asked them, but they were always attending and observing the Eskimo dance ceremonies in my village. So this is sort of like my big moment. And I hope I yeah, we were rehearsing the movements. I kind of did what I could do with the movements along with the song, but most of it is hopefully original. So
Oh, how many people are in your village?
population over 1,200 in my village.
Oh, I was just gonna ask if the songs and dances have been passed along for a long, long time. I mean, are they really old and then they just keep passing it on to each generation?
I think so, yeah, they do that, you know. I'm not the Eskimo dance expert in my village, but we have a terrific cultural heritage program that has to do that. They do a lot of Eskimo dancing in the school, in the Eskimo dance practices during the school year.
And then are there any groups, particular groups that just do the singing and dancing in the village?
Yes, there's, to my knowledge, there's 2 groups. The school group have different people that perform the dancing and the drumming, singers. And then there's a village group that does it too. During Eskimo dance gatherings, other villages would come in. Sometimes they invite other villages from like Tuxugo or Tunon or Ubabe and Scammon. They're closer to us.
So Neva, I just wanted to make a comment, the types of dance bands that you made with the class here, the more simple one that is your own design that you came up with. Though that's braided grass,
Yes,
and that's
It is-
different from the other set because the other set is coiled grass. Is that correct?
yes.
And the coiled grass is like the coiled basketry on exhibit in the gallery. So if you'd like to see coiled grass basketry from her region, you can look in that case over there below the Vidarka. And then we also have dance fans on exhibit. We have men's and women's dance fans. Would you like to talk a little bit about the difference between men's and women's dance fans to the audience?
Only according to my little knowledge, I'm not quite familiar with the dance fans, but the men's dance fans in my village are made from wood that are carved and shaped into circular or something like this, and they put feathers, like bird feathers on there. That's what the men use for their dance fans, and they usually dance kneeling down in front of the women when they're dancing the same movements. So that men's dance fans are different from the women's dance fans.
And what's the name of this dance for everybody, and what is the meaning of the name?
Cakimnaraiya.
Everybody say that.
Cakimnaraiya. That's the title of that dance, which was passed down by John Pinklike. He wrote it, and he's a famous movie actor too. What is it? Life Below Zero, something like that. He is one of the characters.
I kept hearing the word Belushi.
Baluski during our Eskimos. It's like one of the teasing songs, like, oh, we could tip over this way on a canoe while we're hunting seal, or that way. So it's a men going hunting by canoe. Part of that.
Wonderful. That's so great. And let's see if we have any questions from the Zoom audience. And we also have story knives on exhibit, which Neva mentioned. That's one of the motions that was shown during the dance. Let's see if we have any questions from people on Zoom. If you have a question, feel free to input it in the chat if you haven't yet. Michelle said, excited to see Neva and her daughter and granddaughter dance. I think that's Michelle Kennedy. Let's see. Thanks for showing the live. My daughter, Allie, that's from Michelle Knight. Any questions from anybody on Zoom? No? Okay, thanks so much for sharing this from Aaron Elmore. He's an exhibit specialist for the State Museum.
Oh,
You asked what a story knife is? Wonderful. Go ahead, Neva.
okay, long time ago, the fathers would usually make story knives out of wood, and sometimes with walrus ivory, certain ones, and they do their own carving, making carving, and they would present them to their daughters. Story, and they use some kind of, it looked like a knife carved out of wood or walrus ivory, and they could use that on the snow even during the winter time. Use that. And then the girls would gather, the young girls like to gather together and just like sharing a story together and doing the story night. How it was used. And even during the summer on the muddy land of Chevak, so it's muddy in certain places. So they used those story knives a long time ago, made out of wood or ivory. And then nowadays, the popular one is out of steel, the barges bring big lumber and all that, they're wrapped with that steel thing, that kind of flat, but it's strong. And we would use that when I was small, so we would just bend one out and maybe about like 12 inches. Bend it and break it off and then sharpen the tip and use it as a story map. That's what I used to use when I was small.
Wonderful. Well, thank you everyone so much. Just one more comment. I'd like to let people know that the Sheldon Jackson Museum will be coming out with a draft interpretive plan. We've been working on the interpretive plan for a while, and the plan will be available online at Exhibits AK website. I'm glad to give you more information about that, exhibitsak.com. Interpretive plan looks at things like public programs and what we offer. It also looks at our exhibits. It looks at our facility and our public program spaces and what our needs might be. So we'd welcome any feedback and comments and suggestions that you have, and I'm happy to share more with you about that. Join us to welcome James Hart, Jim Gucci Hart, who starts on the 20th. He'll be here before we know it, and bid Neva a very fond farewell, and hopefully see you later, because today's her last day as an artist in residence, and we'll miss her very much. Thanks for being here today.